All right. Welcome to another week of the 97 Demo podcast. The protests and memorials have been going on. The death of George Floyd has continued to act as a catalyst and power a nationwide movement. So we're going to talk about how the music industry has been voicing their support, both labels and artists. With that, a lot of albums and singles were delayed this week, but we're still going to look at chart projections and see where your favorite songs have landed. And then finally, an album that literally could not have come at a better time. Run the Jewels dropped RTJ4, our first 97 Demo review, coming right up. So gentlemen, it has been quite the week to say the least. But music, as always, is here to provide some sort of relief, so how have you guys been holding up?
It's been good. It's been a lot going on. I don't know if anybody expected it. I mean, I feel like, especially with our generation, when something like this goes on, we expect it to last like a couple days or something like that, maybe like a week. But it'll be interesting to see how far, all these protests and will go within the next couple weeks. And see if people can, really stick with it, which would be good to see. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Avery?
It was a better week than last week, I think. I think this was kind of the week where we saw a lot of progress.
Oh, am I the only one who cut out right now? Uh-oh. Hello?
Just a little bit better.
A little bit better. But yeah, I got you.
Did I cut out for you guys, or did you guys cut out for me? Because I didn't hear any of that, and I'm not sure it recorded.
Buddy, I think it's just you.
Well, it's fine. I mean, I'll do it. I'm just not sure, since I'm recording, if my recording would have froze with me, or if it would have kept on going and heard what Avery said. You get this. We'll find out, I guess, in post. We'll find out.
All right,
but Avery, give us a quick 10 seconds, just in case we don't have it.
I think this week was more progress than last week, and we saw some change come out of what was happening in the previous week. So I think things are a little more hopeful than they were a week ago, but it's still been a lot to process and handle.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel with that, that's part of the reason why we're going to be talking about Run the Jewels album, because a lot of the general themes just feel like they fit perfectly, at least, for this week, or for the last couple of weeks, and what the nation has kind of been going through. It feels like it's a good album for it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I agree.
But all right, let's go ahead and get into it. We can start with our charts rundown, per usual. So this week, like I said, a lot of projects were delayed, but that's probably going to impact the next week charts more so than anything. This is pretty much what we expected. Pop has once again gone to the top of the charts with Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande's "Ran On Me" #1. Savage is holding on tight, #2. Still the Virgin featuring Beyonce, and I say that because the way Billboard figures this out is whichever version of the song sells the most or has the most impact is the version they use. So that featured version is still currently outselling, or at least being listened to more than her initial version. Rockstar by DaBaby still at #3, #1 on the streaming charts. Blinding Lights after 26 weeks, you guys, that's half of a year. 26 weeks is still top 5, #4, and then Say So falling to #5 from #2 last week. Any surprises here, you guys? Tootsie Slide is still there too.
This is random, but Rockstar, why do I feel like I don't hear people listening to it? I don't see it a lot of places.
I'll tell you why, bro. It's I brought it up right before this, but songs 2 through 8 have all been really popular TikTok songs.
Yeah.
Have been songs that have been really popular on TikTok, have all had dances to them, each and every one of them. And I think, remember there was an article a few weeks ago about how labels are changing the names of songs
to make it easier,
more recognizable for TikTok.
Yeah.
I think the TikTok trend is very real right now. And this is literally #2 through #8 are perfect examples of that.
Oh, absolutely. And it's part of the reason why now part of the marketing strategy for a lot of new songs or albums is they'll try to get at least one TikTok friendly dance off or one challenge of their own. Like Drake, I think was the most recent, I think, overt example, but a lot of songs
Yeah.
like, about like the, hey, like do so and so, use this hashtag, and like the Megan
The thing with
Thee
Drake,
Stallion, Savage.
the thing with Drake was that was his actual. He was like, we're gonna get TikTok in it. Actually, I think the other people are kind of naturally, but it's good we have somebody that has the TikTok app. So, because I didn't know, I was like, I don't know people that are listening to necessarily the songs.
I can be our TikTok correspondent for this podcast.
Honestly, and then just generally speaking, this top 10 is just really old. Like a lot of these songs have been out for a long time. Say So, 20 weeks on. Don't Start Now, 30 weeks on. The Box, 25 weeks. Life is Good, 20 weeks. Circles has been on for 40 weeks. That's almost 12 weeks away from a year. Are you guys surprised that, I mean, there's been no kind of like new recent releases, I guess, since this whole coronavirus thing really took off?
No, I'm not surprised though. I'm not surprised by these.
I think the best music that's come out of this whole quarantine have been like kind of some more niche artists.
I agree.
Not like this Justin Bieber or Ariana Grande song was cute for like a week.
Yeah.
But we're not really stuck at home anymore, are we?
It dropped to 15, and you still have songs that have been on the charts for 20, 30 weeks, charting higher than it. It's kind of
right.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't know. I think people's minds are just everywhere. So like, I feel like these TikTok songs, I feel like are going to be in this top 10, 15-ish for a while, in my opinion.
Yeah.
As long as TikTok is popping.
So I guess turning over to the albums, Billboard 200, that also looks pretty unsurprising. Hip hop actually dominating the top 3. Gunna number 1, Lil Baby, Future, and then the 1975 and Polo G to round out the top 5. So and any surprises there? We have 2 new debuts.
It's dope to see that the 1975 album. I know that was one of Avery's projects of the week a couple weeks ago, like 2 or 3 weeks ago. But are you still listening to that, Avery? I don't know. Are you still listening?
I am. A couple songs, yeah. I mean, it's really long, so like I'm not gonna go through the whole album again, but certainly like a few of the songs I still listen to for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
how long was it? Like, how many are we?
Oh gosh, it was like 20 something songs.
Yeah.
You know, the age of streaming, especially considering how like streaming factors into where you place on the charts. I respect albums, people that can still come out and deliver good 20-song albums, because it's hard to do, and now the risk attached to it is so much more. You know.
I agree.
Right.
I'm surprised that this is just really small, but I'm surprised that the Baby album is above Weeknd, because the Baby album, I don't think I'm in the minority saying. I mean, I think we're all in the majority saying that was not his best work.
Yeah, I think The Weeknd's been there longer, right? The Weeknd had the highest debut out of any album this year.
Yeah, I agree. It's just weird because like the Baby album wasn't like something that's like popping out here. It's like, oh my gosh, that Baby.
But now that, you know, with singles, they can play into album value. So Rockstar being high and getting all that play is still helping
up there.
Keep this on here.
I agree.
This Post Malone album sticking around in the top 10. It's pretty interesting, I think.
Honestly, I'm low-key surprised it's not higher because Post Malone's so popular. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I like the album. I don't know if y'all listened to it. It's pretty good. But
I didn't
surprised.
I did. I listened to it. And I still, it wasn't, I don't often go back to it, but there's a couple tracks, especially the Ozzy Osbourne one, that I will.
Yeah.
I've heard that song. But
that's a good one.
As far as what next week is looking like, I don't think it's gonna look too different, just because not too much has come out. I know Lady Gaga's come out is expected to come in at number 1 with about 274,000 units sold. I highlight that in particular because of that, 200,000 are pure album sales. And you don't see that a lot. You may see big numbers, but as far as pure album sales, so that means someone either went to a store or downloaded it. 200,000, that's really impressive. So it's the biggest first week for a woman. The Weeknd still has that record because he sold 444,000.
Biggest first week for a woman this year?
Yeah, 2020 this year. Only 2 women this year have had a number 1. Can we guess who?
Who else came out with an album this year? That's a woman.
I read the article. Look, you can't remember who it is.
Is this sexist?
Wow.
I don't know.
Okay. Lady Gaga will be one of them.
Okay.
And then no, that can't be right. Oh, Halsey. No, Selena Gomez is Rare.
Oh, you mean the one she begged people to get number 1? Like, please. Oh yeah. Oh, you know why? Because she tried to beat out Roddy Ricch because Roddy Ricch was killing it. That's when Fox was like at its height, and then she was like,
Kehlani on here.
Oh wow.
Oh, she not. Oh, I'm sad about that. I wanted Kehlani to get that number 1 so badly. I was rooting for her.
She got 10 spots.
Yeah, look at Nav though.
Yeah.
Never mind. Leave
Hanging
it.
around.
And it's
Never mind.
and just but putting all this in perspective. Yeah, Kehlani and Nav felt 15 points. One, that's insane.
That's a big
But Astroworld is still number 26 after 95 weeks on the chart.
It's crazy.
You know what's kind of helped? Because wait a second,
It's Queen album.
What's the last Travis Scott album that dropped? Was it Astro?
No, it's that he came out with that Jack Boys album.
I'm talking like his own solo.
Oh yeah, Astro.
Yeah.
I mean, I think just Travis Scott, just because his popularity, and this is like his last solo project. Because even Jack Boys, I mean, I don't really count that. I mean, Travis Scott's just super popping out here in general.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of like
Air Bonds and Bentley's still on there. Post Malone is
Post Malone.
Yeah.
It's popping.
Oh, okay. Summer Walker. Okay. I mean, I'm not surprised by the people on this list.
Yeah.
We go back to top 10.
Top 10.
I
just want to see if there was any other thing that surprised me. Dark Lane demo.
You listen to the Gunna album, right?
I did. Because my little brother was a big fan, and there's some songs. Look, so I understand that I feel like people like us, and I say this because even though me and my brother only have a 3-year age difference, there seems to be such like a chasm in our music taste. I wouldn't initially normally go listen to a Gunna album. I really only did it because of him. But it's a good album, and there's some songs like Argentina. Big fan of that song. There's another one, Addies, that I really like. But those would probably be my.
How long is it? How long is the album?
18 songs. 18 songs, 50 minutes. So that's like what.
That's actually not bad.
And it's pretty. It's a pretty good album. I'd say I like it more than I like the Uzi album. For being completely.
It's good to hear that it's 50 minutes because that's actually like a low key, like good, like nice length. That's to me. That's like a max. That's like okay, 50 minutes I can do. When it gets to the hour, I get tired.
I have to ask our weekly question. Has anyone listened to this Polo G album yet?
Don't we say that every week?
I know, and I haven't. I don't know. Maybe it's like a regional thing because clearly, like people listen to him, but I have not.
I'm gonna pull it up. I'm just gonna pull it up on my Spotify right now, just so I remember.
I just know he made Pop Out. I know that's like his.
All right. Next week I will come back with having listened to Polo G.
Okay, so that's our homework for ourselves. We're all gonna listen to Polo G. We're gonna give him the respect he deserves.
Stop disrespecting this man.
So we're gonna listen. Let's go to streaming songs because I always feel that's a better way to see what's really either gonna pop off sooner. Wow, Rockstar still number 1, 6 weeks.
Wow.
So let's talk about the fact that Rain on Me, Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande are arguably 2 of the biggest pop names, at least doing it right now, managed to release a song. But you're telling me when it came to streaming, Rockstar was still strong enough to hold off a song with 2 names like that attached to it.
Yeah, but isn't this top 3 the exact same as the singles chart too? It's the same.
Yeah,
pretty
much.
It's the exact same, just different order. So I mean, it's a difference, but not that much of a difference, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's not as much to surprise. And TikTok, I mean, I feel like. I mean, if it's a social media heavy song, I feel like it's gonna be number 1 on streaming anyway.
And all of these songs, well, with the exception of the Scots, is kind of surprising. I'm happy to see that's still on there.
That's even a TikTok trend. That like a clip from that song has even become like a TikTok trend.
Really?
Yeah. See, so the way to do it now, man, forget radio and live performances. You need to get yourself a TikTok hit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Blueberry Faygo, same.
Okay. See, that's
is Roses by St. John one?
I'm not sure. I need to hear it.
Avery's like, oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I would have to listen to it. Like, oh yeah, that is a TikTok thing.
What's pop? That's a TikTok song. I know that is.
Yeah. Don't Start Now is.
Oh, yeah, these are all TikTok songs.
Yeah.
Okay. Polo G again. No surprises there.
Yeah.
Really no surprises. But so yeah, next week, Billboard 200, Lady Gaga, Chromatica, then Jimmy Buffett, 75K with his album. Then it's going to be Lil Baby, Gunna feature, rounding out the top 5. So really,
are we expecting Run the Jewels in the 200 next week?
So that'll be next. That'll be the next chart. So when we're doing our podcast, we'll be projecting that at that point.
It's weird because they came out like in the middle of the week, the album.
Yeah.
It came out like Wednesday night or like Wednesday midday. It came out like Wednesday 12 p.m. It was like random date. But yeah, that's interesting. And Jimmy Buffett, what kind of music is he, guys? I don't know.
He's like classic rock, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
He used to do a yearly concert here in Frisco.
Oh, okay. Everything's a Frisco now.
Shout out to Jimmy
I'm
Buffett and
saying.
Frisco, man.
Yeah, I think Lady Gaga. I do expect Run the Jewels to eventually be in the top 10. Especially you sent us that thing about how they sold 34,000 in like the last 24 hours, something like that.
I was gonna bring that up. They made their album available to download for free.
Yeah, on their site. It's
and
free.
they've always done that. I think that's not new.
Yeah, no, they always do that. It's always. It's available for download for free on their site.
Yeah, like I have it in my iTunes right now.
Oh.
See?
Oh shoot. I mean, I got
that. That's gonna be what.
I know. I have Spotify. I mean, I'm not gonna.
See, if I was on my buying albums tip, I would have just. But I'm not, so it don't matter. So
little tip about Noah: he used to buy all his music at some point before he had a streaming service.
Just starting. It hasn't been a year yet.
That's crazy.
Hasn't been a year yet, so.
Nnamdi and I were trying to figure out what to get you for your birthday a couple of years ago, and we were like, let's just get him a Spotify subscription.
I've gotten no iTunes gift cards so many years.
That would have, if y'all, he did. That's factual. But if Nnamdi if y'all got me to Spotify, I would have cried laughing because I wouldn't have used it. But that's funny though.
Well, good thing we didn't get you it.
That is funny though. Oh, for like a month or something, or like a yearly one.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a month or something.
Oh, okay. I would use it. Then.
Try it out.
I would use it. That's funny.
You need to go ahead and just come to the right side.
I should have done that. That would have been hilarious. Y'all should have done that. That was funny.
And honestly, we need to stop capping for Spotify so hard because, look, if Apple Music want to give us a shot,
Exactly.
What's up, title? We'll do it. All right, well, let's go ahead and get into some of our headlines. With this week, George Floyd is, and I guess this kind of the cause, the spring of the deaths of black men at the hand of police brutality, that's kind of been in focus. And just about every single sector of our nation has come together, or at least say something about this. The music industry is different. So there have been a couple people that called out the music industry the way No Name called people out last week. I know The Weeknd, he had a tweet where he directly said, I donated a lot. I want to see what what my fellow music industry partners and execs are doing. Yeah. And there was a producer who tweeted, and I should have gave you guys this tweet before so we could show it, but there is, I think, one producer professor who said, if the music industry wants to support Black lives, labels, and platforms, it can start with amending contracts, distributing royalties, diversifying boardrooms.
Yeah, you said that.
And retroactively paying back all the Black artists and their families that they built their empires on. And that was retweeted by, I think Erykah Badu was one and a couple other names. So it's definitely been in focus, Yeah. So I guess to starting things off, we're going to start with Warner going public, but honestly, I think we should start with Republic banning the use of urban, and then we can maybe get into what the labels are doing.
That's interesting that this is coming back up, because I think this conversation first came up when I first started hearing this in the conversation was when Tyler won Best Rap Album, and I think he won something else for urban. I think that's why it came up, but I think he won multiple, right? Or was he nominated for urban something?
He won urban. I think his point was, why wasn't I nominated for pop vocal? Because when he was nominated for rap and urban, a lot of people said, well, this was, we loved
it wasn't a rap album,
but it wasn't a rap album.
He's a rapper, but it wasn't a rap album. Yeah, that's a really interesting thing.
But it often is true, especially in these award shows. I feel a lot of times they'll take Black artists regardless of what their music actually is, and they'll say urban. Like when in doubt, when it's hard to figure you out. And Lizzo was my example last year. We have an artist who maybe pop, maybe urban, maybe R&B. We'll just throw them in the Black category.
I agree.
Them in urban contemporary.
Yes.
Well, do you read this paragraph right here?
Yeah, how it started. Yeah.
Which I never knew. That's pretty interesting.
Coined the phrase urban contemporary, which was later shortened to urban, while the term didn't carry negative context at the time. Many argue as if all the symbolism. Oh, well, that's interesting. That sounds about right. It sounds about right. So
but my thing is, in the 1970s, when maybe the goal was just to give Black artists a platform and try to sell the Black artists, I can see why it would be, helpful to coin a phrase urban contemporary to define, this new upcoming genre.
You know what's interesting though? That right there explains why urban contemporary doesn't really mean anything. Because think about it, in the 1970s, rap was not actually, I don't think even
exactly.
Now that these rap hip hop things are come on, and then they just lumped it in there. That shows that doesn't it's literally just for Black people.
Yeah.
Just really for Black people. It doesn't have any urban contemporary. Doesn't have a sound. It's not a sound.
You'll have a Tyler the Creator album in there, and then you might have I'm just using artists that come to my head. And you'll have a Roddy Ricch album in there, and then you'll have a Beyonce album in there.
Yeah,
it's those are three very different types of music
But-
that are like on those albums.
Would Post Malone be in there? Probably not.
Wouldn't that be weird
But
though?
that's
Like,
probably the issue. If Post Malone put out an album and it was nominated in pop vocal but wasn't nominated in urban contemporary,
That'd be a
I have
problem.
an issue. That'd be a
That's
problem.
interesting. We gotta look that up. If him or like Eminem have been nominated for like urban.
I think Eminem
it would
has
just be like
before.
hip hop. There's a hip hop award, right?
Yeah, but it's weird. But urban contemporary,
Like at the Grammys, where would they be nominated? Would they be nominated for urban contemporary? But I think white artists have been nominated for urban contemporary before. I think that's
interesting. I don't know. That's interesting. That's
But
good.
my initial reaction with this is Republic, while it is a huge, label, Ariana Grande, like it says, Taylor Swift, The Weeknd, they're owned by Universal Music Group, and I'm wondering why Universal as a whole just didn't come out and say, for all of our imprints, labels, like we're no longer going to use the term urban. I wonder why limit it to just one imprint under this gigantic, label.
Honestly, it's all about the bottom line. So I feel like Republic Records, because they connected to specific artists, especially some of their most popular artists are Black, they're gonna say something. But Universal is such a big umbrella company. They're in so many different things. Like the Universal as a company, they're in movies, they're in everything. I don't think them saying something is gonna help their bottom line necessarily.
But I'm just like, Universal also owns Def Jam, Capitol Music Records.
Yeah, I know. I agree with you, but I think they're gonna put it on their specific labels to say something, and not them as a whole company. I just don't see them doing that. Because when you think about Def Jam and all them, you think about a lot of Black people involved in those things in terms of like their artists. When you think of Universal, you think of like so many other things other than just labels, other than a music label. Which is why I mean most companies are coming out and saying something, but it's not surprising. I'm not surprised by them not coming out and saying it.
Do you think that this will lead to some sort of actual change within the Grammys of changing the name of the category or
Yes.
eliminating the category?
I do. I can see that happening because especially within like these last couple of years, like in the Oscars and this, I've seen a lot of changes in terms of how they're doing their categories and whatnot, just in general. Like, isn't the Oscars having the most popular? Don't they have like the most popular, movie category now? Isn't that a thing now?
Something about
like
there's something
award category.
around that.
Yeah, I'm talking for the Oscars. I'm just saying with these long-standing, really traditional, award shows, I can see them changing. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Grammys make a change eventually one day.
Well, in the last 2 weeks, a lot of these things have come to light of like this is an example of coded language, right? You're saying urban. What do you mean when you say that? And I think things like this are coming to light in the last couple of weeks where people are finally being willing to, be educated on these topics. It took us, 6 years for Black Lives Matter to not be a controversial statement.
It still is.
That's insane to see.
For brands to feel comfortable saying
that. And I'm so happy they finally, you've gotten to a point where they do, but it's crazy to think about how 3 years ago it was weird to find a company to say Black Lives Matter was like a
political statement.
Yeah. It was too political. It was too controversial. I remember in school, at least for us, we went to journalism school. We have classes where they even tell us that, like, hey, like, you may not want to tweet that. You don't know what people would think. And to see it now become like it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It's really overdue,
and I think,
beautiful.
Yeah, and I guess better late than never, right? I guess.
Yeah.
But maybe this is a very important step for the music industry where someone major like Republic Records can come out and say, we're not going to say urban anymore. Hopefully you guys follow suit.
Yeah, but one thing, a question I want to ask you guys. So let's say the Grammy says, we're gonna take this lead, which I think is very plausible, especially considering the legal stuff that they've had happen with them. Is them saying, okay, we're no longer going to use urban. We're not going to have that category. I don't want them to take that category away because at the end of the day, it's still a platform for Black artists to be recognized by an institution as renowned as the Grammy. So what would we want to see?
Is there a different name you would think would be?
Because they already have Best Rap, right? I believe isn't that a separate? They have Best R&B.
They have Best Hip Hop Songs. Don't they have a Best Hip Hop R&B collab type thing?
I think they have Best Rap Collaboration.
If they have a good,
it goes down to what is urban contemporary?
I don't know. I think take that category away altogether because I know they have rap song. I think that's a category, rap song collaboration, best rap song collaboration. That should just be his thing. And I think urban contemporary should just go away altogether.
My thing is, you're still. I wouldn't want there to be a situation in which now artists that may have been recognized in the urban contemporary category no longer have that opportunity, though. That's why it's like, I think Avery has a point. We have to at some point say, well, what is actually urban contemporary? What are we really trying to say?
Yeah.
Because right now they have our best R&B performance, best traditional R&B performance, best R&B song, best urban contemporary album, best R&B album.
Yeah.
Then they have best rap performance, best rap sung performance, best rap song, best rap album. Honestly, maybe urban contemporary can go, because that's a lot of categories.
Yeah. But what about these labels donating money? Some of these labels that are donating money. Let's look at that. What's that story? That's Billboard. Is that the next one? Yeah. What are some of the labels that have done? I know. Well, did Republic donate? I'm assuming they did.
I think just about
all the big ones.
All have, and if you scroll down, there's like just a straight up list, I believe. So like
Sony, Warner, Amazon. Oh, Amazon.
This is just, so this article, interestingly enough, is just straight up like any music, I guess, entity. So it also has what Apple is doing, via Apple Music, Spotify.
Yeah.
This one, was there anything you guys specifically noticed? Like, I know for me, one thing that stood out is on Spotify, they had a Black Lives Matter playlist. At least on Blackout Tuesday, I think they did. Was there anything else you guys noticed that stood out to you?
I mean, for Apple Music specifically, I can, I'm the Apple Music guy out here. On just like the little homepage for Apple Music, it was like all blackout. It was like they had some cool playlists. I think on the radio, it was just like on the Apple radio, it was purely like, music made by Black people, which is pretty dope. But I mean, that's about it I can think about. Other than them donating money, which is pretty dope. But yeah, that's dope. I mean,
and then kind of getting into these specific actions. Universal, world's largest music company, they're creating a task force for meaningful change, focused on inclusion and social justice. $25 million for a fund that will be invested. Okay, so whenever I see task forces, this is just what my little journalism thing is giving me an insight on. I get worried because oftentimes the task force may say, okay, here are ideas, but then that may be the end of it.
Yeah.
So whenever I just see we're making a task force, how do you guys, what do you think?
I mean, there's no specifics on it. It reminds me when people just say, we're donating $50 million to systemic racism. Okay, what does that even mean? Like, who are you donating to?
What are the specifics?
Yeah, I like when groups come out and say, we're donating specifically to this Black Lives Matter specific organization, because it's actually a Black Lives Matter organization. Right. When people just come out and say, donating $10 million to systemic, to combat systemic racism, what's that mean? So,
right. Yeah, not to mention that Def Jam, all they said was their employees donated their June 2nd salaries to organization.
That doesn't sound good.
I
don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. It's exactly. It's like, what is like, you taking my check? Nah.
Y'all couldn't open your purse, so
nah. That's weird. Hey, that might tell a bigger story. They might be struggling. You never know.
Honestly, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's not surprising. I mean, a lot of the biggest artists today, all these artists are Black anyway, so they kind of have to. So, I didn't know.
I know, people didn't want to sell things this past week and these past couple of weeks. Didn't want to necessarily look like you're taking the attention away from what was happening in the country. But is something like not releasing music? Is that? Because to me, music is a very therapeutic thing. It's something that can help you get through something tough.
Yeah.
I agree. If I saw all this crazy stuff's happening, but my favorite artist just released a new song or a new album.
Well, I don't
know. What do you guys think?
I think it can help, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of these artists don't have. I mean, I can't speak to these guys, but I feel like a lot of them don't have the guts to come out with the album and sound like they'll get some backlash unless they're actually saying.
That's my thing. I as much as I appreciate artists saying we're doing this to show respect, I think the truth is it's awkward for any artist to try to get on Twitter and promote an album during now or promote a new song during what's currently happening.
Especially
what if you said like the first few weeks sales are going to an organization? Or
I mean, I feel like it depends. Some people can do it better than others, but I think generally speaking, it's awkward for any artist. Even Lady Gaga, for her promotion of her album, she suspended a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
because it was like, it's just awkward to come on Twitter and say, let's have a listening party when you know that just right outside your house. There's a protest going on.
That's
you know?
Yeah, it's weird, especially during this time, because when it feels like it's such bigger than any other time before, at least recently within like the last decade. So that's why I think it's different. But this is random. But I know Travis Scott was signed to Sony. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, listen, let me tell you something. I have been going down this rabbit hole, and all of your favorite artists, there's only 3. There are 3 big music groups: Sony, Universal,
Warner.
There are 3. Everything else is one of those.
Yeah.
It's so insane to think about it like that, because yes, you think about like Interscope, or Republic, and Capitol, and Def Jam. You think these are all these different companies, and it's like there's 3. Okay.
That's weird.
Well, that's like how like 95% of all media that's put out is owned by 6 companies.
Music
Big 5. Big 5. Big 5. Sorry.
What?
Big 6. Big 5. The Big
Big
6.
6. I think
Big
it's
6.
6 right now. Yeah.
I would have failed that question.
It's crazy to think about the fact that like we're so aware of that. I think when it comes to the media landscape, when it comes to music, I don't think people know that like 3 groups control it all. But I guess that's for another day.
That's for another day.
That sounds like a good topic we could do.
That is a good topic, though.
We should get into it. And then you guys, because there's 2 ways we can fly with this. You want to go with the Warner Music going public right now, or you want to do the Justin Bieber?
I think we should do the Justin Bieber thing. I think we should do Justin Bieber.
Or wait, actually, I'm sorry, guys. Maybe we should do the Lady Gaga story, because that actually ties into what we were saying about it being awkward to promote.
That's true too. I mean, they're both good things. But I saw this. This is one of the stories I pulled out. But yeah, I saw this. I don't remember I saw it, but I just saw that Lady Gaga was, giving her Instagram to some organizations to give them a platform. I didn't know Selena Gomez. I didn't know that until I read the story. But it's really dope, because I've seen Lady Gaga's been really vocal. Selena Gomez, I don't know if she'd said much. Do you guys know?
I didn't know. I didn't know she did something. But
it's funny. Lady Gaga just posted a picture of a peace tattoo. But okay. But it is dope though that I mean, she could have picked a better photo. But it's dope that she gave her Instagram to these organizations. How many followers does she have? How much does Lady Gaga have? You can see it right there. Hold up.
She got a ton of likes, but 42 million.
Oh wow! I thought she would have more, because Selena Gomez is like 180.
Yeah,
look at her.
I think she's.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Wow.
Which is that's.
Let me say though, just from like, and I hate to be the cynic here, just coming off our last conversation about how difficult it may be to promote your music or projects that you have released, or stay in headlines without looking as like exploitative. Lady Gaga to me has done it right. The entire, like, just she's been very, if one, it feels genuine. So by no means do I want to imply that she's doing this for an album boy, but just I don't think a lot of people would think of, I'm going to give you over my actual platform. Literally, I'm giving you my Twitter accounts, Instagram, or my Instagram account, letting you just post what you feel is right. There's such a creative way to sort of still make sure your name is out there and people are your top of mind, while also contributing to the movement and cause, in a very genuine, productive way.
It's interesting.
I think Gomez got one of the co-creators of Black Lives Matter too.
That's super dope, yeah. And that's interesting because I feel like she'd have way more likes, considering that she has 180 million followers. But I digress. But
180 million, that's insane.
That's ridiculous, basically. But it's dope. It's dope to see. I hope she don't delete it off her page eventually. But I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
That is good though, because she has a huge platform. So, she played something from 13.
And just thinking about what that platform looks like and who that audience is, and now what they're exposing to their audiences, that may not have gotten this memo at all. It's.
I agree.
I think it's such a genuine.
Or the people who wouldn't have done the work to actually find that info, they done the research themselves. So it's good that they're kind of, I don't want to say force feeding, but force feeding in a way, like their audience, like, hey, you're gonna see this, you're gonna look at it. And the people that don't, okay, whatever. But that is dope to see though. So I was really surprised by that.
I agree. And hopefully, that's something people can do in the future when things like this happen, is just allow leaders in certain communities to have a much larger platform than anything they're used to. I'm sure. Yeah. I don't think anyone except for Selena Gomez and probably a few other people are used to having 180 million people listening to what they have to say.
That's one.
So,
exact. I think she's among I think she actually has. I think between her and Ariana Grande, one of them have the most followers on Instagram. One of them.
Yeah, I agree.
The Kardashians, Jenners are up there too.
Oh, that's true too. That's true.
But either way, I could see this becoming a more common thing. Artists just straight up.
It'd be dope to see more artists do that. It'd be dope to see more artists do that. That's a creative idea. So yeah. But I guess we can get to the Justin Bieber thing, which is like less of like a newsy thing, but
Just like we've been new. You know, it's nice, but we've been.
But I'll say this. I'm not gonna say it takes guts because something we all knew. But I'm saying, well, you think it takes? I mean, but it's just it's something that it's nice to say because not a lot of artists will say that publicly. So just to read it, I'm inspired by.
I think like Post Malone should come up with something like this too.
Bro, woo! I have benefited off of Black culture. My style, how I sing, dance, perform, my fashion have all been influenced and inspired by Black culture. I am committed to using my platform from this day forward to learn to speak about racial injustice, systemic oppression, to identify ways to be a part of much needed change. I mean, we knew Usher founded you. He helped teach you dance.
But let me say this though. We've been new, and I think that's the point. We've been new, and we know for a lot of artists, and we've been saying we've said it for a lot of artists. There's a lot of to be accused, but he's the first that I have seen that has straight up just been open with it. And I feel a lot of times.
By first, do you mean first pop artist? Because I've seen. I mean, rest in peace, but Mac Miller, there's multiple clips of him being like.
I think just generally speaking, not many artists who have been accused of cultural appropriation or exploiting Black culture have ever been gutsy enough to just straight up own up to it and say, I'm inspired, I'm influenced, and I would do all I can to speak up and advocate in ways that I can.
No, I agree.
I think about if Iggy Azalea, when she was at her peak and was getting constant accusations thrown at her,
that would have helped her a lot.
What the impact could have been, because at the end of the day, I think a lot of times people just want to hear you admit it and say, okay, I'll try to advocate since I am.
I agree with that. I mean, the only ones I can think about are Mac Miller and Eminem have said it on record. Like I've heard Eminem say on record, rap is a Black genre, and I'm just here. But I
said
agree.
On one of his songs, we say like, I'm the best artist since Elvis to use Black music so selfishly.
Yeah, exactly. He had a whole song about it, exactly. So, but it's one of the first to see one of these pop artists, because usually in rap, white artists is kind of just known that like, hey, you're in a Black genre. But with more poppy type songs, poppy type artists, because they're in a pop genre, they're like, oh, it's not as apparent because they're not rap or something like that. So
I think especially it was important for someone like Justin Bieber, who has had, when he was really young, had that video come out of him singing the N-word.
Has he ever apologized for that?
I think he apologized for it. But it was so long. I'm sure he's apologized. It is every couple of years it will come. It comes back up, and everyone starts talking about it again. But I know he used to really be a bad guy.
Yeah, but he did a lot of growing up to do at some point.
A lot of growing up to do, but yeah, that was dope to see. And I guess the most at least poppin' is this Warner Music goes public, which I didn't know. Nnamdi, you dropped that.
The least poppin'? It's
not the least poppin'. I'm saying that not the least poppin'. I'm talking about like the one that's been less prevalent in our minds. Like nobody's like, oh my God, Warner Bros. went public. But
not as exciting of a topic as.
You're right, and that's part of the reason I want to say this is like my little business.
Little business.
CNBC.
But I want to talk about this because Warner Music Group is now a public company, meaning that they have shares listed on the NASDAQ, and I think it's insane because I think it's big because they're kind of the first big purely like music company or large music corporation to be public, and now have stakeholders to consider when they're making decisions, and now just have a whole bunch of
they're not the first. Nnamdi, did you ever watch Empire? But they went public.
And don't get me wrong, there's other there's other groups, there's other general groups, but a lot of things are included within others. Like the Universal Music Group is owned by this company that's owned by this company that may be public.
Yeah. But I agree. I get you. You talk about in terms of like umbrella organization that's actually gone public.
Yeah. But this is the first umbrella to make its debut. So I'm trying to find the amount they were valued for, because it was like a ridiculous amount of money. So they're valued at $16.3 billion.
What would it be?
16.3 billion. Like this is a lot of money, of course. And to put that in perspective, the company that owns Warner Music Group only paid $3 billion for them back in 2011, and they're currently valued for 16.
Hate that.
But now, I guess this article was interesting because it was highlighting, kind of the good and bad that could potentially come out of it.
Yeah.
And one of the things it says you should consider is now investors who, of course, is focused on money and just want to capitalize on things that may not understand art at all, now have a say in this label, right? And vote now, albeit Warner has kept just about all of its voting power, but they still have to now consider what the public thinks and you know, publish financial records and be completely transparent. So I think it's going to be the first time we are able to really kind of explore how record labels work and like how much money are they making? And when we think about how much these artists make, you know, look at the parent, look at the umbrella and see how much they make too.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to talk about is just the amount of cash they're going to have by this. So they're going to now have a financial buffer of about $300 million of untapped credits, untapped money for them, and $484 million of straight cash and cash equivalents. So it's just crazy to think about the amount of money this company is now going to have. And I honestly think you may see more, at least purely music companies, organizations try to follow suit and go public, just because now when you think about the fact that traditional sales aren't making as much money anymore, you now have to think about streaming and other people there's many more middlemen in the picture. I could see more companies doing this just to raise money and ensure that they're good, especially in times like this. So
yeah,
all in all, there are implications to now having a music company be public.
It's interesting.
Is there another? Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, is there another label you think's like the next one to follow suit?
I saw one that said they plan on doing it in 2023. Universal Music Group.
Oh.
IPO in 2023 currently planned.
I think, I mean, I'm not good with all this business stuff. For some reason, I feel like they're going to be valued higher than Warner Brothers.
So they were able to raise $200 million cash from the IPO. They sold 70 million shares. And they kept all their voting rights. Like they have, I think, 99% of the voting power still. So it's very, very interesting. But I think
they're public, but not really.
Yeah. So it's something to keep an eye on, just because I think this is what the future could look like. And I think it may change the way we, you know, musicians or act, or, you know, what the expectation on artists are. You now are focused really on money and investors and making sure your shareholders are taken care of too. So
maybe your path into the music industry, Nnamdi, is buying a couple shares of.
You don't got the bread for that.
I mean, the shares I think are $27, so we all kind of have enough bread for that. If we, you know,
.1.0000002%.
But I still
own
own
a little
it.
bit of a music.
I still own it though. It's all that matters.
But
a little piece of Ed Sheeran's music.
Usually, I feel like that would be a big thing in news too, since it's like such a big thing, like such a big company going public like that.
It was on business news, financial news.
Yeah, that's my point though. It would usually be like a big thing, but because of all the obvious reasons of like the protests and, you know, Black Lives Matter and whatnot, it's not as in the forefront of people's minds. But I feel like normally, in terms of music news, that'd be a very, very big story. But yeah, so that's interesting though.
So for the sake of time, and because I want to give us enough time to really give respect where it's due, we have an album that literally cannot have come at a better time. So we're gonna talk about Run the Jewels, RTJ4. Get excited, get hyped. You're gonna get hyped when you listen to it.
That's interesting because it's called RTJ4, not Run the Jewels 4. It's just RTJ4. That's actually.
I always assumed that was just like.
Oh no, yeah. I thought no, but I'm saying like you know, I thought, you know, RTJ is like the, you know, how you could like the acronym, I guess you could say. But it's just interesting that it's called RTJ4, not Run the Jewels 4, like spelled out.
Yeah. But for those who don't know, because they're not the biggest, most commercially recognized or mainstream group, unfortunately, Run the Jewels is a hip hop super duo that consists of a legendary Atlanta rapper and MC Killer Mike and Brooklyn producer and rapper LP. The Unlikely duo initially teamed up for a one-off project back in 2013, but that has now grown into 4 albums, including their Billboard Hip Hop #1, Run the Jewel, RTJ3, and their latest effort, RTJ4. So they're critically acclaimed, Grammy nominated, and forever underground. So you guys, Run the Jewels 4, 11 songs, 40 minutes, features from 2 Chainz, Pharrell, Mavis Staples. What'd you think?
I guess I'll start it off. I'll start this off. The album's good. I think everybody would agree. The album's pretty freaking great, actually. And it's interesting because recently Killer Mike has been in the news too because of his comments about the riots and protests going on in Atlanta. And recently he's been making the rounds on a lot of news organizations talking about what's going on in general. And Killer Mike, he's been, I mean, I feel like there's been people that have supported him in the last couple of weeks. There's been people that have supported him and, you know, not agree with what he said. But either way, he's been really visible in terms of the media. And it's interesting that he had an album coming out like right during this. So I don't think he did this for like publicity or anything, but it kind of came out at a perfect time because his name is probably the most popular it's been in general, because he's in the forefront of a lot of, I'm not saying he's in the forefront, but he's one of the people that comes up when you're thinking about who's been involved. Killer Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree his statements during that press conference in Atlanta were very genuine, if anything else, even if you didn't agree with everything he said.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Absolutely.
It's interesting. This is just random, but it's interesting because he's so well spoken. I mean, that's not surprising, but like he's like he can like remember he went up and he made that speech like off the top of his head. Not a lot of people can do that. And then you hear him rap, and he's like, "Oh crap!"
And I mean, I feel like not a lot of people remember. Like Killer Mike, he does this. He's given lectures before. He's written about racial and social justice.
He also has a really incredible TV show on Netflix. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
Yeah.
He kind of dismantles a lot of racial systems that exist in America.
Trigger warning with Killer Mike.
Exactly.
Give it a watch.
So. And he has a song on here. We're gonna get to that. That's like the big talking point, I guess we'd say. The song on here that's really interesting. Yeah, we'll get to it. But I guess we can just start with the first track, Yankee and the Brave, episode 4. We were discussing, yesterday, what does episode 4 mean? And I just assumed it meant the 4th album. I was like, it makes sense as the 4th album. But this is actually one of the singles. I think this is the first song that was released. The first 2 songs were already pre-released. So yeah, the song was good. They basically just came in just rapping about stuff, honestly, but it was super good. I point out that Yankee and the Brave, LP's from New York, Killer Mike's from Atlanta, Braves and Yankee, I thought that was dope. So what y'all think about that first track?
I think it's a
fantastic intro.
Oh,
they come out swinging. I mean, like the first lyrics on the whole album are back at it like a crack addict.
I mean,
exactly. Yeah, it's just awesome.
Yeah, I feel like they never pull punches. Like especially, there's a point Avery said they're not the type of artists that are gonna like make this super. I mean, they can, but I'm saying like when they say something, they're gonna say exactly what they mean. They're not always gonna throw in this super metaphor story type thing. It's gonna be like, hey, this is what we talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wish you could play the songs without getting sued for you. But
exactly.
Like the biggest part, because the thing you need to hear is the production on this album. And like immediately when you press play on that first song, the beat you hear, the production, it just gets you hype and you feel energy and you feel just ready to hear whatever they're saying. And like it's like the energy makes you want to move. And I think it's the kind of quality and production that you can only get from 2 people that know what they're doing, have been in this business for a long time, and know how to make a good album. Because all their albums have been
exactly. Surprisingly, I thought LP did all the production because he usually does, but on Genius here it says by Wilder, Zobi, and Little Shalamar.
Yeah.
Shalamar. So, but that's interesting. But yeah, I feel like the production's just big, but. Yeah, if we want to
I thought something that like I really loved about this track was that it starts with this like intro where it's like you think it's gonna keep going. We're like this week on Yankee and the Brave,
and it just goes to the song. Yeah, it just goes to the song.
Like a train.
Yeah, I agree. It's so good. Yeah. So I don't know. Has anybody watched that show, The Yankee and the Brave? Because that's like the theme of the album.
It's a fictional show, I think. It's fake for this. Yeah, for this album.
For this? Oh, it sounded like a legit thing they sampled or something.
I know.
You guys, are we doing track by track?
Yeah, I want to go track by track.
Let's do track by track. I thought this
was pretty interesting and kind of relevant to what's happening right now.
Yeah, I mean, he had a lot of, different things going into that.
Yeah, I think that's why this was such a perfect album to come out when it did.
But the second track with...
and I think it was the first single off of this?
Yeah, that was the first single. The first song was the first single. The second song was the second single, right? Right, Avery?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this song, this hook, I'm not saying it's my favorite song, but this hook's been in my head the whole time.
Yeah.
It's like the easiest one to remember.
The drowned out, the noise that they have, the music they have in the background, it's kind of like toned down, mellow. Yeah. It's like, I don't know, it's really cool. It's a really cool sounding song.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It is. I would think we would all agree there's some like interesting sounds on here, but it all works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, the music video for the song just looks so fun.
I haven't seen the music video.
It's them just dancing around like a pile of there's a bunch of people in the streets, and they're all like dancing and burning a giant pile of money.
Yeah,
It looks so fun.
What'd you think, Nnamdi?
I think honestly it made sense as a second single, and I'm listening to it right now in this ear. So that's part of the reason why I'm just like kind of just vibing right here in the back.
Yeah.
But I think it just, the best way I can ever sum up Run the Jewels, and this song I think sums it up well, is just it's always the production for me. Like, yes, the lyrics are there and the bars are there, but to me it's always like the person that catches me and moves me and makes me, gets me on is the beat. And then when you can now go back and say, oh, they're actually saying something too, it's a double whammy of wins,
That's a great point to make, because that's the first thing, because obviously with the music, I think that's a lot of people sometimes, reprehension, I guess you would say, with like some, conscious music. It's like, it has to sound good. And I think the first thing you think about is like, wow, this sounds great. And then when you look back at the lyrics and what they're saying, like, oh, wow, they're saying some deep stuff. So it's interesting, these first two tracks, even though they have lines about certain things, these are the two ones that really aren't, they're just kind of spitting, they're just rapping.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of tricks you, because when you hear those singles, you're like, oh, they're just going to rap. But then you get into like the meat of the album. I don't know how you would say it. And they're like, oh, they're talking about some good stuff. So yeah.
There were a
I
couple
thought it was really fun that they was like,
I ain't never
seen you act like this
Yo,
before.
yo.
What is this?
2 Chainz.
Yo, hold on, wait. I froze. And I think because I'm recording, I just don't know.
Oh, you good.
But Avery, wait, the last thing I heard is when you were about to start talking.
Oh, he said
what you were about to say.
I'll say there's a John Wall video where John Wall is saying, I've never seen you act like this before. And that's how I felt about 2 Chainz in this song.
2 Chainz is not the same guy who used to be like, all I want for my birthday. He's different.
He ain't titty boy no more.
He ain't titty boy. No, thank you. If you really know, he ain't titty boy. But 2 Chainz. Of course, LP and Killer Mike killed, but 2 Chainz. Woo.
But I've known for a fact since 2 Chainz' last album, what is it?
Rapper Goes to League.
Yeah, Rapper Go to League.
That was
Ever
good.
since that project, because that was, people didn't give that nearly as much respect as
That was a good album.
That was a great album. So since then, I was like, he's a rapper, but like that man can go at it. And I think this song is great because this flow is different for 2 Chainz.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is typically not the song people would expect him to be on, especially the production. Excuse me.
It didn't even really sound like him at first either.
It didn't. It's like they had it's like they used some kind of
toned down theme.
Yeah, it's like they used some kind of voice enhancer type thing.
Yeah. It was cool, man.
But it was a super dope song. It was just going in. I think this was one of the shortest songs too, but yeah.
Yeah.
Holy Kalama, I don't know how to say it.
Lamafuck. That's how I think it's.
Lamafuck. Yeah, whatever that is, however you say that. Another great track. Every song you come in here, it's just like, bam, kind of hits you in the face.
It's constant, like, just
it's constant, like, banger, just hit you in the face.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is only, 39 minutes? Like, you have every song that is great product, you guys.
It's like a roller coaster that just keeps going down.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just so exciting the whole time.
Great workout album if you're like trying to go hard and something like that.
I thought it was good, like, protest music. So I went to a protest this week, and it was like I was listening to this album on the way to the protest.
Oh, okay. I thought they were playing it.
No.
That would have been hype. That would have been dope.
Like, I was like getting hyped going to the protest, listening to this album.
Yeah, I agree. Oh man, yeah, just another group. I don't know if you guys pulled anything out. I feel like these first couple of tracks, although super dope, I didn't see anything like super. Like there was.
Wait, I'm sorry. This has one of my favorite bars. So Avery's about to roll past it. As a teen lacking, I would rent me a Supreme racket. I would have took these lame Supreme jackets until he grabbed a hype beach went seeing sadness.
That's my favorite bar.
Orange madness left the scene laughing.
I agree.
Bars.
That was dope. Yeah. Who is that? Was that Killer Mike?
I think that may have been LP. Yes. Oh, Killer Mike.
I mean, Killer Mike.
This line about until you rob a hype beast, you ain't seen sadness. That is funny.
Yeah. So you rob a hype beast, you ain't seen sadness. That's so funny because that's so relevant now too.
And then the beat, like the beat break and then change.
Yeah. Is this the one with the beat change? It was a beat change. Oh.
After the second verse, kind of, there's like a break.
Yeah, there was a break.
And then that goes into
Yeah, I agree. That was dope too.
We need to give LP his flowers too, because he's just
really
great on his whole thing.
Like, yeah.
That's the thing. Everybody sees Killer Mike because his voice is so like it catches you.
Yeah.
But LP, if you hate Run the Jewels, you don't love the troops. I mean, that's what he said too. Oh, he had some lines, man. I'm telling you, but I'm saying what I was saying before. I don't know if you guys agree with this, but like the first 4 tracks, although there was some lines, some bars were really spoke to like specific concepts. These first 4 tracks felt like they were just kind of going in and just speaking on stuff, but nothing like a whole concept of a song. You can tell me if you disagree or not. That's what I took.
My favorite, I know I've been harping on the production of stuff a lot, but my favorite, without a doubt, like of the actual production on this album, favorite beat is the next song, The Never Go In There.
Goonies versus E.T.?
Goonies versus E.T. is just, I love everything, but I love the production. I love like how they go back and forth with each other.
Now, this is interesting because we were just talking about no concept. This is technically a concept, but it's really about just like some nerdy stuff, like other stuff. But yeah, this was good too. I love, what's so interesting? It says it on Genius too sometimes when they go back and forth, like verse LP and Killer Mike when they're going back and forth. And I watched the interview a while ago. There's something I heard. It's like when they're going back and forth, it's like they're writing, and then LP might be like, "Oh, I don't have something." And then Killer Mike's like, "Oh, I got something." And he's like, and then Killer Mike's, "Oh, I got something." It just sounds like what it.
It sounds like they're sitting in the studio together, just like, don't let the beat die, going back and forth with each other.
What's that line? You just went past Avery, Skyline of Blades, Bob Ross, something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a good line too.
This is my favorite chorus, I think, too. I'm listening to it as we speak, and this may be my favorite chorus. Because I don't know if you know, they have like the deep voice modulator thing. And
yeah.
Like,
yeah, I get what you're saying. Another dope track. I think we all agree. Now, I think we all kind of want to get to this 6th track. If you have anything else to say on Goonies versus E.T.?
No, okay, hold on. I just want to say, look at the views on all these.
That's what I'm saying.
And then look at the Walking in the Snow.
I mean, it's the standout. So Walking in the Snow is probably, I mean, I don't know if I should go on this lane, but probably like the best song on here.
Like Ooh La La and Yankee and the Brave have been out for months.
Look at it compared to the actual single.
Yeah, they've been out for months, and this one has over double Yankee and the Brave.
Now, I saw this on Twitter. Somebody was like, "Man, Walking in the Snow, woo, that's deep." And somebody was like, "You can tell they wrote that like a couple weeks ago." And then LP commented, he said, "Wrote that May 2019 or something like that." And I was like, "It's crazy." Like they wrote this 29. I don't remember the exact date, but let's just get into it. I think the whole concept was them talking about oppression for the most part, just overall, especially LP. He said something about, you don't really know you broke until you pour, something like that. But he said a lot of things. Hungry for the truth, but you got screwed and drank the Kool-Aid. He's more talking about just being like a broke guy, white guy, in a sense. That's what it sounds like. The newest lowest on the totem pole, Weak Ali G, you have been used. He said.
Oh, this was the one that stuck out to me. That's what Christians, y'all indifferent. Kids in prison ain't a sin. Shit, even one scrap of what Jesus taught connected, you'd feel different.
Yikes!
That is wild.
Woo! Some people that don't listen to this music would get hot by that, but he has some lines on there.
Crazy.
Yeah, that was really interesting. But I think
I love the chorus too. The chorus is so like
Gangsta Boo.
And like,
I'm happy they picked Gangsta Boo.
Gangsta
Give
Boo.
some respect.
Gangsta Boo. That's what I'm talking. Get Gangsta Boo on the track. What you talking about?
Nah, it's all about, they focus on these new rap girls. They don't remember the OGs to do it.
Now this is my favorite hook. Just got done walking in the store. That's my favorite. That's my favorite. Yeah, that's my favorite. That's my favorite hook.
Wait, did I just say that last song was my favorite chorus? Did I say that already?
You said it. Exactly. See, this is my favorite hook. Yeah, but Killer Mike, that man was spitting the gospel on this verse.
You want to just read it? You want to just go ahead and read it?
The way I see it,
probably away from your body to be stored. The promise education.
But they give you tests and scores.
I'm listening to it right now, so this is actually perfect.
Yeah, and they predict in prison population by who scoring the lowest. Usually the lowest score is the poorest, and they look like me. I mean, that's actually facts. I learned that in school. Like
a man like
in the prison industrial system, they will build new schools based off of how many kids are scoring like low on tests. Like in second and third grade, like they will build new prisons based on that.
Wait, y'all, can we just talk about these next 3 bars and like how much the fact that how like I'm chills literally. Yeah. And every day news they give you beer for free.
Oh, go ahead.
And you so numb you watch the cops choke out a man like me until my voice goes from a shriek to whisper, I can't breathe.
Keep going.
And you sit there in the house on couch and watch it on TV. The most you give is a Twitter rant and call it a tragedy. But truly the travesty, you've been robbed of your empathy. Replace it with apathy. I wish I could magically fast forward the future so then you can face it and see how fucked up it'll be.
Bro! This man just literally predicted the future. Literally exactly. That's literally what's going on right now. Literally exactly
what's going on. Fast forward the future so then you can face it and see how fucked up it'll be. Literally.
And look at where we are now.
So I don't know about you guys, but a big reason that I've stuck with journalism is to kind of change some of the ways that the media is able to shape our perception of things. And that's something that he touches on right here, right? Yeah. Like you get this overload of things happening, you just kind of become desensitized to it. And that's kind of what he's bringing up here. And it's really refreshing to hear someone just flat out say it like it is and say that you guys don't have empathy anymore. You have apathy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this track just it was deep, man. It was deep. I mean, honestly, when I first heard it, I was like, oh man, the beat's dope. And then what first caught me was when he said "Street to Whisper, I can't breathe." I was like, wait, hold up, let me go back. Let me run that back a little bit. Yeah, he was going in. This is probably his it was just a really deep track.
I thought you wrote it like last week
and call it a tragedy. Call him out.
Wow. Yeah, it was an incredible track, incredible song. And the last track is them just kind of going in, honestly. last verse is just them kind of going in. But yeah, that Killer Mike verse, man. LP killed it too, but that Killer Mike verse, man, because he was just so like, this is how it is. And especially because he spoke on it last week. It's really interesting. And the fact that he wrote it last year just says a lot. It's
just so poignant.
It's really poignant. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that might be the verse of the year.
You're right.
Might be the verse of the year, but
and I like the last part here.
Oh yeah, that was funny. I like that. That was funny.
First of all, black and the other one white. So if you don't like it,
you automatically. Yeah, that was good. That was good too. But to me, this is when they start talking about. This was the shift for me.
Yeah.
When they started getting like some deep stuff, because the next track, although not as poignant, it's still interesting because it's talking about how people are kind of controlled by their money. But Pharrell, on your boy, Pharrell.
And if you're confused, if you didn't know it's Pharrell, the first thing on the song is Pharrell's, at this point, trademarked 4-beat intro thing.
Yeah.
That's what the song to the dun.
Interesting.
Dun. Yeah.
Because this sounds like it, but it doesn't say he produced it. It doesn't say he has produced it.
Oh, whenever I see Pharrell featured, I always assume
he's producing. Yeah, I agree. I agree too.
Okay, so I thought musically, like this was the most interesting song on the whole album because it's like a punk trap song.
Yeah, because
it's got a trap beat.
Zach
it also like has these like really punk elements in it where someone's like yelling and screaming at you. And
Zach
also calling out like really, political things.
Yeah, and I love the pre-choruses. Mastered economics because you tick yourself from squalor. Mastered academics because your grades say you a scholar. Mastered Instagram because you can instigate a follow. Look at all these slave masters posting.
Get it. Look at all these slaves. Yeah, I like those too. This is a good hook.
And then it changes. It changes from that pre-chorus to the next one. Then it becomes master of these politics. You swear that you got options.
Yeah.
Master of opinion because you vote with the white collar. The 13th Amendment says that slavery is abolished. Look at all these slave masters posing on your dollar. What is that? Look at all these slave masters posing on your dollar. What does that mean?
That's like, exactly. All these guys, George Washington, they're slave masters, I'm assuming. Also. Yeah. So, That's interesting.
Funny.
They put the $2 bill on there. What do you do? But
Alexander Hamilton.
But we asked for Harriet Tubman and look how.
I asked Harriet Tubman. Where the Tubmans at? Where are my Tubmans? What are you talking
Wait,
about?
who's on the $2 bill? Who's on the
I do not know. History lesson.
Jefferson?
That is not. No,
That is not Jefferson.
I know it's not. I know what Tommy Jeff looks like.
Yeah,
Is that Alexander Hamilton?
Who's on the $2 bill?
No, Hamilton's on the $10 bill.
Two.
And I'm pretty sure Jefferson, isn't that not Jefferson on the
It's Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah.
Is that really?
Oh, y'all.
Thomas Jefferson. This is the best picture of Thomas Jefferson.
I forgot that was Ben Franklin, and that's so bad. I was about to say the 100, and I was like, that's Ben Franklin.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. What's wrong with you, bud?
Yeah, Thomas Jefferson's problematic. They're all problematic.
Yeah, we knew that. But yeah, this is an interesting track talking about how just kind of like money runs in people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
Not a new concept, but still dope. Still dope. I don't know any.
It's just another one where it's just so fun to listen to.
It is fun to listen to. I think I'm trying to find a line. I don't think this is my favorite track because there's a line where
here's one right here.
Murder is shot. Ooh, that's a good one too. I'm trying to find. I don't think it's this song, but LP has a line where he says "Ministers to Sobriety," and I like that line a lot.
Oh yeah, I remember
Sobriety. That's like he comes in like that. But Nnamdi's favorite song.
My favorite song has changed consistently every day I listen to this because I don't think this is my favorite anymore, but it is a great song.
Hold up.
Top 3.
Said Nnamdi quote said a couple hours ago.
No, I did. It said it's my favorite. Every time I listen to this album, I get a new favorite song. It is my top 3. I love Never Look Back.
Nnamdi, Avery says it's cool.
So this might be my least favorite song on the album.
Really?
Doesn't mean it's bad.
I just don't think it's like as exciting as the other one. I think it's more like generic than all the other songs that I heard on.
I think my big thing, I'm very big on flow and the delivery, and on this song, LP and Killer might complement each other really well.
I like that.
So their rapping is very good, yeah.
This is one of my favorite tracks too.
Their voice are just they comment very, very well. Like, you almost don't notice it.
I agree because this I'm like how you said you're big on flow. I'm kind of big when artists kind of get personal and they were kind of talking like past things they've gone through.
Yeah.
So he Go to Killer Mike's second verse says, Daddy told me never get a honey my money. Had to ask daddy, dad include my mommy. Made $1, made sense, made money. Got a white belt like a Playboy bunny. Effed up, but I kept it because it kept wanting. Made a meal, that's for real. I like that. That was dope to me. Oh, he's talking about his mom's a stripper? Like, bro, come on now. He was talking about
And then verse 3 for LP, I just like his delivery, and he's like Noah saying he's being personal. Like,
I like that. He said, because if $1 made, he said, must have stuck up my crime. My mama right titty. Because of Tyler's that made sense. No question, she was it. She was queen, independent when I was a kiddie. Uncle Luke, don't stop, get it, Magic City. He just called out his mom being a stripper. His dead mom being a stripper. I was like, yo, not everybody can do that. Everybody can do that. So yeah, I liked it. Even though Avery went to hate over here, but
no, I'm not hating. No, like everything you guys said is valid. I think just musically, it's just not the idea of the song musically is not as exciting as the other songs on the album.
That's dope. Interlude had Mr. Motherfucking Esquire. You guys should check him out. He did the little interlude in between the song. Check him out. He's dope too. But
did you like the Ground Below? Because I played that because that's an Avery DeLaw song when I think of it.
I did like it.
That was more
like rock elements.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's when we had the really heavy guitar like.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was dope.
I always love it when they can throw like a guitar into rap music or something.
To me, even though the song was, to me, this is the song that was my least favorite.
Okay.
It was a skip.
I mean, it's fair. I understand.
Is you too, Nam?
Wow.
Well, no, I only say that because after I listen to an album like the 5th time, when I go through the track list, the songs that I can't immediately remember how it sounds must be
true
for me.
Yeah.
That's just how
I remember this song because this one stood out because it sounded the most different in terms of like the rock thing. That's why I remember it, but it's a great track. Like the rapping well. It's just like, I mean, it's good. It just in terms of all these other songs because they're so great. This is the one that's like my least favorite.
And like I'm listening to it right now and it's good, but for some reason I wasn't inspired to go. I think that's like if you're someone who likes rap, it's the song on this album that I would say probably veers into rap rock, punk more than the others. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, that's fair.
I agree with that. It was still cool though. Pulling the Pin though was interesting though. I didn't peep this till later.
I liked it a lot because I don't know who Mavis Stable is. Well, I knew who she was, but I've been listening to her a lot, and I like her voice.
I like her voice, and it's interesting when you think pulling the pin, like what are they talking about? But then in the chorus, she's talking about a grenade and pulling the pin, grenade blows up.
Yeah.
Thing you think about.
Mavis Staples is incredible. Such a great voice.
Who is she? Who is that? Who is she?
She's on Right, can I look her
And
up?
Staples' mom?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no. Yo, what if they related for real? It's like, is Mavis Staples a white woman? Oh, she's black.
Yeah, she's a gospel singer.
She's
Really?
blues, blue rhythm, blues, and gospel.
Question: do y'all think is this a sample, or did they actually get her to sing the?
Well, it says
I'm not
featuring
sure.
Mavis Staples, so ooh.
She was born in 1939.
God, she did. Ooh,
I mean, I hope it was a feature. I hope she's in the studio with them.
that's interesting though.
This is where I remember her. She was on this Hosier song. That's where I remember her.
Oh,
And this Gorilla song too.
interesting. Oh, that Gorilla's
I
out
remember.
too. That Gorilla's sound good too.
On my free time, so I spend time Googling what the gorillas look like in real life.
Yo, what?
I think
Oh, man.
they've always been cartoons since I was a kid. I was like, yo, who are y'all?
Yeah. This is a good track too. I don't remember how it goes, but I just remember the chorus being really good though. The chorus was really good on this.
And based on the delivery, I just know they're saying something. I know they're saying something, but I'm in it for Mavis Staples' part, so I like her voice a lot.
I think he's talking about capitalism and stuff in this one.
Yes. I'm copying Nnamdi and I'm listening to it in one ear. I like that idea, Nnamdi. I'm copying what
It
you
sounds so fresh, I don't feel like that's cheating. I feel like that's,
No, it's not cheating. It's not cheating. Yeah, they were talking about capitalism. Oh, and they did have another. There was another.
No, she recorded this. She had to have been, because her voice sounds a little bit too.
Yeah, it sounds too natural over the thing. And they had another line about pseudo Christians in here, talking about they've been taking shots at Christians the whole time. Yo, what's up with that? That's the real question. But yeah, another dope track. I mean, do y'all have anything else to say about this one?
I think it's just another.
And
really
there's a lot of
great
religious
track.
elements in here too. There's a lot of, I'm reading that right now, and in Killer Mike's verse 2, the whole thing is a religious, has like a religious kind of double entendre going on. At best I feel difficult, poor, and you pitiful. Then every day is like a satanic ritual. Beautiful soul with the rogue and the criminal. How long must they hold onto their principles? Kick an instrument while watching the demons. Collected the gold and the diamond residuals. My pastor said God has promised us paradise. Live a good life. It is pivotal. I promised my mama that I would stay honest, but I want it all physical.
Physical.
I like that.
The devils.
I was a fan of when there's religious allusions to religion.
The devils, they do the despicable, and still they move like they invincible. These filthy criminals sit at the pinnacle.
And it's basically at its core just saying that we all want to do good, but a lot of times the physical is way better. I collecting the gold, the diamond residuals, like that. Yeah,
Wait a second. I'll cut off the heads. They'll beg for their life and put it up digital. Fuck the political. The mission is spiritual.
Yeah.
Woo. Yeah, he was like, yeah. He's like, yeah.
And then I think next, our favorite outro.
Well, this is okay. First of all, to me, this song, I could see this not being like somebody's favorite in terms of like, man, this song don't give me its hype.
Well, it's like 6 minutes, 6.5 minutes long.
Yeah. But in terms of like everything, in terms of production, where the verses were, this is
It starts out kind of slow and it ramps up.
Bro, this the best, to me, this is the best track on the album for like so many reasons. First of all, to me, this is the most personal they got on the album. The track, because like for the most part, when they're talking about deep stuff, they're talking about our society, the economy, capitalism, racism, which are all great things that are super dope. But I like it when an artist is really getting personal. You're like, oh wow, you really get to learning about the artist, because that's how you like them. So that's why I like their verses so much. And the beat, it's just building them like dun 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 dun, and they were just going in. Like LP, he did his thing on the verse. He was talking about.
To me, this is like the one of. I mean, I'm sure there's other ones I can point out, but like this is the track that stands out to me. Like LP stands out on this song.
Yeah,
see, I'm with you.
For me personally,
I got you. But to me, Killer White, because he mentioned Atlanta. He said. He says something about made in Atlanta, Georgia. Where I used to ride the model with an empty 22 in the front of my brave starter. It's in that. Oh man, they was just super personal on that. Oh, and I love the line. This actually might be the line that stands out to me the most when he's talking about his wife. And he was talking about, I'm going to read this whole like little thing when my mother transitioned. Go to that second verse. You can go to Avery.
Right here.
When my mother transitioned to another plane, I was sitting on a plane, telling her to hold on. She tried her, but she couldn't hang. Been 2 years, truth is I'll probably never be the same. This here, it's the chore not to let myself go insane. It's crippling, make you want to lean on a couple promethazine. But my queen said she need a king, not another junkie, flunky rapper fiend. Friends tell her he could be another Malcolm, he could be another Martin. She told a partner, I need a husband more than the world need another martyr. It's like, that's some real stuff. Like,
yeah,
you think about all these people that are like, wow, man, they're such leaders and stuff like that.
I was literally listening to this at the exact moment you were singing. You were on it.
Yeah, almost. I was almost on it. But it's interesting because, you know, we think about these big martyrs and like Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, don't want to get historical. But then we're like, oh crap, they had families. Like, you know, Coretta and MLK's marriage wasn't exactly.
Oh, Coretta's the most faithful wife ever.
That's what's it's
like she stood by Martin through so much.
That's my thing. Like, she was probably. I mean, Martin Luther King's obviously a super historical, incredible figure. But
Coretta does not get the praise she deserves.
But his marriage probably suffered as a result of all the work he's did.
Definitely suffered from
big time.
Big time.
And y'all, honestly, back to being how they're personal on this, I feel one big difference is LP is personal but relies more on analogies, while Killer Mike is direct with like this is this. Like if you look at the third verse, LP when he's trying to get into his personal bag, he's like, "This is for the never heard, never even got a mother effing word. This is for my sister Sarah, honey, I'm so sorry you were hurt. This is for the dawn. Mama took a knock, had to change the logs, messed it up, but brushed off, and I was talking about the boss. Like, you can kind of get it really trying to think about it, but like, then take the fourth verse with Killer Mike, Black child in America, the fact that I made it, it's magic. Black and beautiful, the world broke my mama heart and she died an addict. God bless me to redeem her, my thoughts, words, and my actions. Satisfaction for the devil, God damn it, he'll never ever have it. Like it's. But Killer Mike never stood down. This entire album never. It was just on it with these bars. It's really personal, kind of this. Yeah, he's doing his thing. He's doing.
Yeah, man.
I did not know until just right now that A$AP Ferg was on the song.
Bro, I just thought about that, but A$AP Ferg randomly. But
is he featured?
Yeah, he does the outro. It says Matt Sweeney and A$AP Ferg.
Wow. Okay.
That's interesting. But to me. Obviously, the verses were incredible, especially the second verses. I mean, that first Killer Mike verse was incredible, and the second LP verse, like my two favorite verses on this particular song. But every verse was incredible. And the thing that made it that much better is when the song thought you stopped and the instrumentation just kept going. And I was like, this is...
No, and then if you know, it has that element of like, I compare it to Duckworth from Damn as being, it was just a perfect like outro song. Because if you just have it on loop,
exactly.
Yankee and the Brave, Yankee
and the Brave, and
then it goes right back to the first song where there's the same thing. It's like a full circle moment. And I love when artists like put that much thought into their intros and outros, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Production aspect.
It makes at the end of the day, this is what's gonna leave an impression on you when you leave the album for the first time.
And it did. I listened to when an outro is more than 4 minutes, 5 minutes, I typically, even note to self, I love J. Cole, but once he starts this name and names, it's okay.
It's like, okay, even Kendrick
thing.
And Kendrick on To Pimp a Butterfly when he's doing the interview, I'm like, okay, this is cool, but let me skip that. But it makes an impression, and to me, just the instrumental break where it's just like the beat is playing and the horns. Ooh.
Yes, the horns. I just love how it just builds and builds and it gets so big and it's like so.
I love it, and I love it how there was a never beat that dropped and like it just kept building. Yeah. It was never like a boom. It was just until like the end.
It's very grand.
Very grand. I like they had a band doing the thing. Yeah.
So you guys, despite like, you know, how great of an album this is, Run the Jewels as a group and their music is still kind of underrated, I think, underground, despite having two huge names attached to it. Why do you think that is? Like, considering this album to me, even though it's underground, it doesn't sound like an underground album. This to me sounds like something I could hear at the gym, I could hear at the radio. I could honestly, it has commercial appeal for sure. So why do you think it hasn't gotten that?
To me, that's a simple question, honestly. And there's two type of music listeners. I don't want to get all like crazy, but there's music listeners that like are spoon-fed music. So like artists, like you're gonna hear what's popping on Spotify. You're gonna hear the albums that everybody's listening to, whatnot. And then there's music listeners that really seek out music or are like, yo, where can I find new music? I feel like that's becoming more popular. But I feel like all three of us, I would say, are like, you're looking for music like, oh, what's new or something? What's new? What's out? Like, what's something that, you know, not necessarily people haven't heard of, but what's something I haven't heard that I might like? And I feel like the people who are gonna are searching for new music will find Run the Jewels. And I think now, especially these last two albums, I think they're becoming more well known. And it's interesting. This Run the Jewels came out. That album came out in 2016. It doesn't feel that long.
Yeah, it did.
Would you guys describe Run the Jewels as like a conscious group?
Yeah, they're conscious rap that don't feel like conscious rap. I feel like a lot of times conscious rap has a
mellow.
People tend to associate it with slower pace, kind of boring, focus on lyricism, and this isn't that.
They kind of are the antithesis of all that, right? Like they just kind of go against everything that you think of traditionally what would be. But my mind goes to that Kendrick Lamar lyric on the Mask Off remix where he said, "How did you guys let a conscious artist go platinum?"
Yeah.
Right? Like it's not typical for conscious artists.
I mean, if we're gonna talk about shout outs on Hood Politics, he says, if y'all love conscious rappers, Killer Mike will be platinum. He said something like that. But I mean, it's interesting. I feel like this album they're gonna get more popular just because of the content and how it's like this album's so ready. It's like so ready. It's like so perfectly.
They have wildly popular songs though, like Nobody Speak or Legend Has It. Like those are two very popular songs. But I do agree they should be way, way more popular. But I do think they're more popular than they would have been if they were just solo artists by themselves.
Yeah.
Makes sense?
Killer Mike's made himself very visible in the last few years of like campaigning for Bernie Sanders, being very outspoken on these issues. So I'm excited. I hope this album can like launch them into something bigger than what they are right now.
And to me,
go ahead, Noah.
I was just saying, to me personally, this is my favorite album of theirs.
Yeah, it took me a while to officially say it because I was a big fan of Run the Jewels 3 and Run the Jewels 2, but this is, I think, my
favorite.
It's very cohesive, and you'll notice all of their albums kind of build off of each other. They all have overall, I think, the same vibe, even the production, the same kind of energy, the same kind of fast-paced, boom, boom, boom feel. Yeah. But they do it well, and it never feels repetitive, which is, I think, very hard to do, to kind of stay within that realm without getting repetitive.
Yeah.
I think they've gotten better with every album, personally.
Yeah.
I agree.
So what are you all's?
They're just a group, but go ahead, Nnamdi.
So I was gonna say, let's go ahead. What are you guys, favorite songs? If you have to give me a top 3, then highlight your number 1 and say why your number 1.
I'll go first. Favorite tracks. Whew, that is tough. Walk in the Snow. A Few Words to the Firing Squad. And there's something else for Firing Squad. I feel like they're getting all deep because they're about to get killed by like a firing squad. It's like literally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think that's why they said it. But
like last words.
Yeah, exactly. They're like that's why they're getting all deep. But I would say, Walk in the Snow, A Few Words to the Firing Squad, easy, and those are my top 2. I don't know which one's my favorite yet. I'll actually
did you say Walking in the Snow? What else?
And the last song.
Okay.
I would say the last song is my favorite, and that 2 Chainz song, man. I gotta go Out of Sight.
I think I have the exact same 3 as you, and I think Ooh La La is like number 4. Like number 4.
I'm with you.
Okay,
the same top 3.
I'll be the different one.
Okay.
But my favorite. Yeah, go ahead.
Avery, did you say your top 3, Avery? You said the same as Noah.
Yeah, it's the same as Noah's, except I think like I was struggling for the third one, either Out of Sight or Ooh La La. But I think I'm gonna go with Out of Sight.
Yeah.
So Out of Sight, A Few Words with Firing Squad, and
Walking in the Snow.
Walking in the Snow. So my top 3, Walking in the Snow.
Look back.
Honestly,
switch it up, buddy.
Honestly, maybe Goonies versus E.T. because I love the beat on that. I do.
Yeah.
And I'm hard because number 3 is where I struggle because I don't know if I want to do a few words for the Firing Squad because I think that's absolutely amazing song. I love Just because I love Pharrell's hook.
Yeah. He is an NERD guy. That's his guy.
NERD is my bag.
That's his guy.
And then I love Never Look Back. But I think just for the sake of this, I'm going to be different. I'm going to say Just is my number 3. That is like my.
I'm surprised you didn't say Hola Kalama, the word.
I know.
That's the one where the beat switch, right?
Yeah. That's my bag too. But like.
You're going to say that.
Well, hey, so let me ask you this. If you were trying to get someone to get on the Run the Jewels bandwagon, you may not be able to do it with A Few Words to the Firing Squad because it's a 7-minute song. And someone would say, I'm not doing that.
The songs I picked? I tell them to list the Ooh La La and Out of Sight.
I got my dad into Run the Jewels literally a few days ago by making him listen to Ooh La La.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think Ooh La La, because to me that's the beat. I mean, I don't think this sounds like the whole album as a whole, but to me that's the beat that is the most accessible, and that's the one
It's
I
so
can
fun too.
Yeah, it's like ooh, and the beat in the background it really sounds like kind of trappy-ish, really heavy
Yeah, it's
bass,
just fun.
Yeah.
really heavy bass. That's if there was somebody who was like, who should I like? What's a good song? I would say that song, and I would say this album too. To me, this is the most accessible album too.
Yeah, 39 minutes too. I love it. Quick, straight to the point. It makes you think every single minute of it.
So
We're
how would
giving it a
y'all?
4 out of 10.
Honestly, I will give credit where it's due. I don't believe in a 10 because I think a 10 once you're there is like you always have to make that the benchmark.
Yeah,
But I will say I like a 9. Absolutely. Like I think it has the bars, it has the production, and it has. I think once you have that, it has the features are perfectly placed. And I've been listening to it for the last 4 days nonstop, and I'm still not bored. And it's only 39 minutes, so I'll say, sure, it gets a 9 from me.
what about you, Avery?
Noah?
Oh, me? I'll
There you
go. I don't mind giving an album a 10. Unlike this
You're
guy.
at 10?
I mean, honestly, there's no slouches, there's no boring. The worst, the track that I like the least isn't even bad. It's not even a bad track. It's still good. It's just like my least favorite. But I'll give it a 9.5. It's pretty. It's honestly, I'm not gonna say this is gonna be my favorite, like the best album, like when I rank them at the end of the year or something like that. But in terms of like an album that's been put together from like front to back,
Just really well.
it's
really
just
well.
yeah, exactly. It's like really well. I don't know if I'll listen to it the most by the end of the year because that's usually how I go. But like which album I listen to the most. But in terms of the album that's put together, it's probably the best put together album I've heard this year.
Yeah. Mr.
I think
Delisle.
I'm gonna go with
You gonna get
an
it?
8.
Oh my
An
gosh!
8.
What?
An
Got
8?
it.
What?
An 8. Yeah. An 8's a good score.
Not for when it deserves a 10, Avery.
Dang, Avery!
I think an 8's a good score for this.
Avery
Okay.
don't like it as much as he's saying it he does.
Okay, that's fair though. So that means our 97 demo review score is an 8.8.
You were doing that too. I was literally.
That,
I hate y'all for that.
That
But,
was even an 8.8, which is really good. This is a good
Yeah,
score.
it's a great album.
Good album.
I
Okay.
think it's just composed really well. I think there's some songs I'm just probably not going to listen to again, but I think for the most part,
Yeah,
I really enjoyed and had a lot of fun with the album.
I agree. I think we can all just like say wrapping up. Great album. Great album. Great artist. For project of the week, I think we were all listening to this for like
Yeah,
last.
this is my project of the week.
This has to be the project of the week. Go listen to it if you haven't.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you should listen to it. I think everybody should listen to it because there's actually some good messages in it. But
Are we trying to do a best albums of the year so far next week?
ooh,
Oh, okay.
ooh,
The top 3 to 5 albums of the year.
But that involves us expanding our horizons and listening to albums we may not have listened to yet across genres. Because
Yeah,
right now, I think
true.
if I did that, my list would be probably R&B focused, pretty
Okay.
R&B heavy.
I've been pretty diverse this year. So
We did a
I'm
top
confident
5. If we did a top 5, 2 of my albums would be R&B, 3 would be rap. If I did a,
I think I'd have 2 R&B, maybe 1 pop and 2 rap.
okay, next week best albums 5.
Top 5 albums of the week.
Rank them, not like rank them. I say rank them,
All right.
rank
All
them.
right.
And your rankings can be how you want, but
And I want to the people listening and or watching, y'all do the same thing. Tweet us your top 5 albums of 2020 thus far. We'll take a look at them, and maybe you'll make an appearance next week in the 97 Demo Pod. Who knows? Maybe. But y'all, any other takes? Any other things you want to get off your chest?
Black Lives Matter.
Oh, there you go.
Black
Say
Lives
it loud
Matter.
and proud. Black Lives Matter.
Boston, please.
Yeah. So
No justice, no peace.
Oh, there's no peace. Oh, that was a bar.
And with that, this week has been heavy, but as always, music provides an outlet and provides a way to bring us together. So
Listen to music, relax, chill.
listen to music, relax, and be sure to take a break because there's a lot of this can be heavy. Self-care is still very important. And yeah, keep on pushing. So we'll be back next week with our top 5 albums thus far in 2020. We hope you enjoyed our first 97 Demo review. And that does it for this week. We will see you next week.